Sometimes life gets hard, and I don't know where to start. Sometimes I feel like a failure, but that's not what's in my heart. I think about my little babies, and I begin to smile. Then I pull myself together and try to run another mile. As a woman, I know my worth. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Gotta follow my dreams, put myself first. Oh yeah.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to the Journey of Womanhood with me, Professor Michelle Limes, and I want to thank you all for coming on tonight. We are excited on tonight. We have some ladies of go-go on tonight. We're going to talk about their craft, talk about how they started, talk about how they started, where they are now. So excited to have these four young ladies on here. They're going to talk and inspire you guys, and we are so excited. Listen, I need y'all to tag. I need you to share. I need you to share, tag, invite a girlfriend, invite a sister, so we can have this conversation about all the women. We are talking about the ladies of go-go on tonight, y'all. And listen, we're talking about the women behind the music. These women have been doing it for a minute. Some sing, some play congos, some play drums, and we have one that played the keyboard. They have played all through the DMV. They have made their mark in the city, and I'm super excited. Listen, you all don't forget to tag somebody, share this broadcast, tag somebody because it's gonna be hot tonight. If you all invite your sister, invite your friend, because it's gonna be good. Listen, we getting ready to come on in just a few minutes, so just hold tight.
LaShawn Yvette Foreman. LaShawn Yvette Foreman, aka Fats, aka Drummer Chick, began playing go-go in 1991 and became a member of Click's all-girl band and Precise all-girl band. She's had the pleasure of sitting in with various DMV bands such as Rare Essence, The What Band, Junkyard, Belladonna, and Familiar Faces. Her inspiration for the go-go music began when watching Pleasure Band and Little Benny the Masters. Keisha Chaos Scott began playing percussion as a young child and now has 45 years of experience. Not only does she play the congas, she's talented in producing and writing music. In 1986, Chaos became a member of Royalty Band and Precise Band. In 2019, she participated in a collaboration and performance with rapper Raw Digga. She is a member of the SOS Band. She is now a member of SOS Band and also performs with Inspire Soul Band. She had the pleasure of sitting in throughout the DMV with bands such as Backyard Band, Junkyard, and Rare Essence. Chaos's inspiration in percussion comes from Jungle Boogie, Mickey, Elmo, Wink, and Petey. Allison Alley Cat Gilbert Johnson began playing at the young age of 8 years old. She has been a member of Clicks, Pleasure Band, Love District, and presently Treble Funk. She has performed in London, opened for Foo Fighters at RFK Stadium, in Cal Jam, and also has performed with George Clinton and many more. Camise Lee, affectionately known as Songbird, is a native Washingtonian and is recognized as one of DC's most sought-after female vocalists on the local band scene. Camise began singing in church at the age of 6. She has also had the pleasure of sitting in with some amazing bands in the city, such as Sugar Bear and Experience Unlimited, Air Raid, and Belladonna, all-female band. Following her passion as a singer-songwriter, she broke into the DMV band scene in the early 2000s, sitting in with Chuck Brown's band at the time called Bits and Pieces. She released her first independent inspirational project in March of 2012 entitled I Choose You, which sold over 1,400 copies. Ladies, please welcome to the stage LaShawn Yvette Foreman, aka Fats, aka Drummer Chick, Keisha Chaos Scott, Allison Alley Cat Gilbert Johnson, and Camise Songbird Lee.
Hey, ladies.
Hello.
Hey, hey, I'm
Oh,
so excited that you are here on today to join us for the Women's Behind Music segment. I'm so excited to talk to you all about your journeys in music, your craft, how you have allowed your craft to evolve, to make you allow you to evolve and to become. So first I want to talk to Sean Yvette Yvette Fats, aka Ass Drummer Chick. So, lady, can you first tell me, as a female drummer, can you all put everybody put their phones on mute? There's some type of something going on. As a female drummer, I can turn mine down. As a female drummer, when did you start? Did you start in go-go? Did you start R&B? Did you start in church? How did this inspiration start with you? How long were you playing?
Well, when I first started playing drums, I was 8 years old. I was in school, and we can all finally join the band. So the drums was there, and it was all lit up, and it was just shining to me. And I was like, "That's what I want to do."
Excuse me, Sean. Turn yourself up just a little bit, baby.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let me talk louder. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, baby. Go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, I was 8 years old, and I joined the band in middle school. So I started playing, and I taught myself. So I basically played in church and played at the school. For go-go, I was determined to play go-go once I saw Pleasant. And I remember calling up to I forgot where you was playing at. Safari Club. And I called one night, and the owner answered, and I said, is Pleasure playing tonight? And he said yes. I said, well, I play the drums, and I want to know if they need a drummer. And he was like, well, you're in luck. The drummer's about to leave, so I'll pass Michelle the number. And I was like, oh, okay. Not thinking he was really going to do it. Right. But then when you and Bugs called me one day, I was on a church trip at the beach, and I get home, and that's when we had answering machines. We didn't have cell phones. So I get home, and it was an answering machine message from you and Bugs saying y'all wanted to come over. And I was like, oh my God. Oh God, I gotta get the shower. I gotta get the sand off for me. Oh God, Michelle and Bugs coming over. And y'all came over in my room. We closed the door. And I played the drums, but I was definitely playing the church song. Yeah. And Bugs was like, I see the potential. You play church, but I see the potential. So he got Buggy. So him and Buggy used to pick me up every day and take me to Triples nightclub. And this was, during the day, and we were just practicing. He showed me go-go, and that was it. It was on from there.
So let's talk about any peaks and valleys as you have been evolving as a female drummer in a very well-dominated, male-dominated circuit. How did that influence you as you continue to evolve as a female drummer?
I mean, they were all so loving to me, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Bucky was the one teaching me go-go. But I would go see Junkyard, and I always stood behind Heavy One.
Right.
I always stood behind when we played with Essence. I always stood behind Foot. I always stood behind Buggy. So, like, even though the crowd is enjoying the music, I was just like in awe watching them. And they loved me. So, I never felt different, like, oh, I'm a female, and, they never looked down on me. They always uplifted me. So it was awesome.
So what are one of the couple, can you name a few landmark spots, some places that you played that was very liberating?
Of course, Women's Park.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna always say Triples because that was the first. Nativity. Oh, I used to love that. WUST.
Okay.
What's the one on? Don't kill me, y'all. The one on Georgia Avenue.
Black Hole.
Yes, Black Hole.
Celebrity Ball.
I mean, just everywhere because I was already ready. Anywhere we played was monumental to me.
So I know you were in Precise. After Precise had stopped playing, what did you do after that?
Well, I started with Clicks.
Got it. How did you get in Clicks? And talk to me a little about Clicks.
Okay, well, right before Clicks, I was in high school, and I can't remember. I think his name was Anthony. He played drums too. And I can't. When I say I cannot remember how I met him, but he told me about a band called Delicious, and he was like, they looking for a drummer. So I begged my parents because they was all in the church. I was like, please. So they let me go to the practice. I went to the practices, and then we were supposed to have a show at Triples. And right the day of the show, the band broke up. I was like, oh God. so I was so ready. So after they broke up,
was that after? Did they break up before or after the show? I need to know that.
No. If they broke up before the show happened.
Oh wow!
I was so excited about the show, and then the manager called was like, "Well, they broke." So, Allison can tell me what was the drummer name that they used to help with Clicks. Can Allison hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you. I'm thinking.
I remember his name, but
was that Ivory's husband?
What was his name? Yeah, I think it was.
I can't remember.
So he ended up working with Clicks, and so he told Clicks about me.
Okay.
And so I went to Clicks and I started playing. I was in high school. I really, for real, I still didn't know how to play go-go. I was just playing anything for real.
Right.
But, and Miss Mac really
got us through though.
Yeah. But she was trying to put me on front line when she knew I could sing. So I would be over there going to practice, and Funk would come in and play his old records, and he'd be like, learn this song, and come back and sing it. But I was like, I don't want to be on front line. I'm too shy.
You have a beautiful voice though.
Me in the back. But yeah, so that's how I ended up with Clicks because of him.
Okay. So after Precise, what happened?
After Precise, that's when Lori had formed SOS, and she came to me. Yeah, and I joined SOS.
Got awesome. So can you tell me about any company, your inspirations? I know Buggy was an inspiration for you. Heavy One, Rest in Peace, was an inspiration. Am I missing anyone?
Foots.
Oh yeah, definitely Foots. Rest in Peace.
At that time, those was my inspirations. I love all my drummers, even Jamin Jeff. Like, I love him. He's the one that makes me want to show off, like doing the stand up and shaking all of that. I get that from him. Yeah.
Definitely. So, how do you feel as a female drummer? How do you feel, and what would you say to some other young ladies thinking about playing drums? She just plays drums in her basement, or she plays drums in church, and she wants to kind of broaden her horizon. What would you say to that young lady?
I mean, just go after whatever you want to go after it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, being a Catholic school going girl, and my parents was all, even though I wasn't Catholic, just for them to let me do, and express myself, you know what I'm saying? When I say I was determined, if you determined, go after that goal, you know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be here right now if I never went after that. You know what I'm saying? Being in my room, listening to go, like, I can do this. I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And then I end up doing it. So anything is possible if you stick your mind to it.
How do you keep up your craft? What are you doing to keep your craft sharp?
Well, right now I can't say. I mean, I got drums. I have electric drums. But I kind of, stopped playing probably like 2016. I lost my father, and I kind of slowed down. Okay. And then when I lost my mother in 2018, I really slowed down. So right now is when I go see a band, they let me play, they let me get on, and I'll play. You know what I'm saying? But going to Chaos birthday party. And that kind of like, maybe I should get back into this. You know what I'm saying? Because once you're not around it, but then you get back into it, it's like, oh yeah, I miss it.
You've definitely made your mark here in the DMV, and you have really made your mark with young women that want to play. I'm telling you something. I think that you have, just me watching your whole music career, you have totally blossomed. You have really been able to, I remember from the beginning, the very beginning to now, you are a totally different musician. So, I would just suggest that, you find something, because that's like therapy. It's like you love music. So you keep doing what you're doing, girlie. Don't stop. We have pitfalls, we have valleys that we go through, and sometimes it might slow us down, or sometimes we might not just be feeling it, but you have, even if you go into the gospel, or whatever you're feeling to do, you know what I
Gospel
mean?
go-go's next. Gospel
Huh?
go-go's next.
Well, listen, do what you do, because I'm telling you, it has been a great journey, I think, with you. And I think women in music just doing the thing. And drums is usually looked at as a male instrument, someone that a male will play. And then you had that came out with Precise, of course Pleasure was there, and then Precise, and you came out with Precise, and then you had all those other wonderful girl group, Clicks, Delicious, Royalty, all of them bands just did the thing. You know what I mean? And I think it's time for you all to be, as well as myself, as being in Pleasure and Precise, to be recognized for the work that you've done all these years. Okay, now listen, I want us to talk to Miss
Hold on, I
Allison.
gotta say one more thing.
Oh, yes.
Gotta give a shout out to Marguerite, my mother. Gotta give a shout out to her and Go-Go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And my
Marguerite, let me say that Marguerite had actually was basically, I was trying to when I was in Precise, I was trying to manage Precise for a minute, and it just didn't work out with me trying to manage and be the lead rapper at the same time. So Marguerite came in, she gave us on-site babysitters, and she kept us in check. So rest in peace, Marguerite. Marguerite is really the for this whole right now, because she has even now she's pulling things together. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you said we had definitely. And she moved, but she left us for Precise. When Precise ended, she went to Backyard, and she was operating with that. And she's done endless work in the go-go community. All right, Sean, you stay right there, because I got some for you later on.
Okay.
So I want to talk to I think I want to talk to Allison Gilbert, Alley Cat. She has made her mark. She was in Pleasure. First she was in Clicks, and then she was in Pleasure, and now she's in Trouble Funk. I might have skipped a few things. A very talented young lady. So Allison, can you talk to me about how did your journey start playing the keyboard, and were you always in go-go, and how did that happen?
Well, I started off at the age of 8 taking classical piano lessons.
Mm.
And being in that genre, you run into when you do the recitals and you do the competitions, you're up against the Asians, and they are phenomenal. And then you got this little black girl that's coming in, and then she want to play too. And the level, I'm playing classical, but at the same time, I still want to be that little girl playing, skating, double dutch, kickball in the middle of the street. I'm still trying to do that. So that the classical, that was, my mother said you did have to play piano, violin. There was no option with her. And I chose piano. So I was in lessons from, I guess age 8 was like around 3rd grade to 10th grade. And in 10th grade, there was a competition. It was statewide, and I won the competition. And the winner gets to repeat playing that piece with the Prince George's County Orchestra. And after I did that, that was at Oxon Hill Manor back in, I'm dating myself, that might have been about 80, let's just say 80 something. And after we did that, I was done. I said, I don't want to play this anymore. But while playing the classical, I was listening to go-go.
Now, let's stop right there. Why didn't you want to play classical?
Because I didn't feel like it was still to the point where I felt like I was not doing it for me. I was doing it for my mother.
Got it. Okay.
And I wanted to play other genres of music.
Mm-hmm.
So they bought me a keyboard. I bought a little keyboard from, I don't know if y'all remember Briggs Music in Landover Mall.
Indeed.
Got a little keyboard, started learning some things, started trying to use my ear now, because, in classical, everything's written.
Right.
So now I'm going to start learning how to play by ear and play some of these songs I hear on the radio. And that's what I was doing. But the songs I was picking, they were all go-go because I don't know. I just got attracted to go-go. My first, of course, Bustin' Loose. But my first actually purchasing an album, like going to Kent Mill or Waxy Maxy or something like that, it was EU Freeze. And on the flip side of that was Knock 'Em Out Sugar Ray.
That's right.
And I walked with that album like that was the best thing ever. And I was like, who got a record player? Because y'all need to hear this. And I would play my little songs, then I go get another album. I got so many 12 inches in the basement today of all go-go. And it's just like everybody, Body Moves, Trouble Song, Peacemakers, Air Raid. I mean, tapes. I still got tapes, y'all.
Wow.
I don't even have no tape recorder. But I got tapes, junkyard tapes. I love junkyard. But once I decided that I wanted to quit playing classical, I started playing go-go in the house. And I would just try to mimic little things that I hear, like the carnival from Rare Essence, like da, na, 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 na. You know what I'm talking? I can't even remember the name of that song right now. But I used to play that in college on this little Casio keyboard.
Do when you're home doing nothing. I got it.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And I would play that, and I'd be like, all right, I'm Godfather ready. I can play this. Then my girlfriend in high school, her name was Ivory, and she knew I played because I was always in the bands in school. I played the flute first. I played the flute too. And I was in concerto band, symphonic band, jazz band, all of those bands, and playing the flute. But she knew I could play the keyboards. I had a rack of keyboards at home. And she called me up and she said, let's start a band. I said, huh? She said, yeah, because I know funk and I know Miss Mac, Miss Neil, and Miss Sis, and they're all interested in putting a band together. And I was like, huh? I said, we'll be calling ourselves. Oh, we already got a name, Allison. It's called Clicks. I said, Climax? I said, it's already girl band. She said, no, they took the M and the A out. I said, oh, okay, Click. Who running this? And I was like, where practicing? She said, it's on Zinnia Street. Zinnia Street? Southeast? That's where I practice in the basement of Red Essence Enterprises. I said, oh, okay. My mama's not gonna like that too much, but I'm not gonna tell her that part. Right. I'm a Maryland girl, you know, and I don't have anybody. I don't know anybody. I didn't know anybody at the time. I don't have I'm from here, but I'm not from here. I'm from New York. And then I came here in third grade. So my family is in Newport News, Hampton, all of those areas. So I don't really have family in DC. So reasons to go in DC for me at that time, there was none.
Got it.
So we started this little band and I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. And, you know, I'm doing my little thing, playing, and everybody coming through, and I'm meeting people. Then Rare Essence is coming in because we all practicing at the same time, and we practiced. That was once we got out the basement. We started going to Rio Studio. Okay, and that's where Rare Essence used to practice at. And we're just as we're coming out, they're coming in. Then we had our first show, and it's after Black Hole, and I was like, "It's where?" They said the Black Hole. I said, oh God, I know my mama not gonna have this. And I ain't show up.
You missed the first show?
I missed the first show.
So how did that go? How did that go with Miss Mac?
He said, Allison, you can't be missing shows. I'm like, and we don't have cell phones back then, you know?
No, we didn't.
And so I was like, so what did y'all do? We just pocketed to death and just got through. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't miss any shows after that.
But wait a minute, y'all first show. Let's back it up. Your first show, all they did was ride the pocket with no music.
Ride the pocket. That's it. Ride the pocket. So then
wow.
I don't know. You know how in bands and the ego start kicking in?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what happened. Yeah. Because now Clicks has made it to the posters on the trees. You know those globe posters that were like yellow, orange, and white on corners, and you would try to steal one because you saw your band's name on it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, we made it to the posters. So now we're known. And egos kicked in. I mean, we got all the way to Wilma's Park.
Okay.
And did a couple shows out there, and then the egos kicked in, and then we broke up.
Oh.
And I left. I think I was gone for maybe about a month when DC realized there was no more clicks. And Charlie Fenwick and Roy called me late one night. I mean, it was like about 11:30.
Okay.
They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Studying," because I was in college then.
Okay.
And they said, "Well, you want to try out for pleasure?" I was like, okay. You still playing, right? I said, "Not right now, but I'm interested." They was like, "Okay, well, come on down and audition." When? Right now. Right now? It's 11:30 at night. Yeah, we're here. We'll give you the address. And
wait
so
a minute. So you had the wow. So you auditioned.
I had to audition. And they gave it to me. I was like,
were you by yourself or were you with another keyboardist?
It was me, Roy, and Charlie. That's it, in the room.
So what did your audition consist of?
They said play something.
Okay.
So I said, okay. I played Sweet Love by Anita Baker.
Okay, that's a good one.
So they said, okay. And then, you know, Roy, who is the master of all music.
Definitely.
Of everything. He started calling out chords. Give me E minor. Give me A flat major. Give me this. Give me that. I'm like, you really testing me? I said, because if I recall, I've seen Pleasure a zillion times. I know where I'm going with this. So where are you going with this? He said, I just wanted to see where you at with it. I'm like, okay. So I gave him what he needed because remember, the classical training is already there.
That's right.
The theory is already in my head. So he was like, okay. He was like, okay, we'll give you a call back.
So question, as a woman, were you intimidated at all by him?
Absolutely. Because I already knew Roy and I knew he played for Hot Cold Sweat.
Right.
And I knew he played keyboards. So now I'm trying to show, I'm not trying to show that I'm better than him, but I'm showing that we could possibly be on the same page.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, what does he think about me? And I'm trying to think I know he's trying to figure out if he can work with me.
Right.
And I'm like, I think I can do this. So they let me walk on out the door. I was like, so Charlie said, well, me and Roy gonna talk about it. I said, okay. And I left. I got home about 12:30, 1 o'clock that night. They called me the next day. Can you come to practice on Thursdays? No, it was Tuesdays then. I said, sure. Okay, be at practice on Tuesday. I get to practice on Tuesday. And I said, where's the keyboards and stuff? They said, no, we're not doing that today. I said, what are we doing? We're going to Silver Spring. What's in Silver Spring? Chris Biondo Studios.
Oh, to Chris Studio?
Chris Biondo. Remember Chris?
Okay, yeah, I remember. That's why I asked. Yeah,
I said, okay. And then I got there, Becky and Tom were there because they were a collaboration back in the day.
Okay.
So Becky and Tom, Chris Biondo Studios. I said, okay, what we doing? We're going to do this Christmas song real quick.
Oh.
I said, wait a minute. We going to record something? I've never recorded anything except maybe my tape recorder and me playing in my house. They said, yeah, we're going to record this Christmas song. So let's start learning the song right now. And then we're going to record it. And then we're going to put it on this album, this CD. And then tape, put it on this tape. And then, you'll be done. I said, okay. Got out of there, did the Christmas thing. They did a whole reception because there was so many bands on this Christmas CD, this Let's Go Christmas. And I said, my first thing with Pleasure was recording the Christmas song. Then my first show, I was so nervous. It was at Triple's nightclub.
You played, actually.
Yeah, I recorded before I played. And then that next Tuesday was back at Triple's because Triple's we did every Tuesday night.
Okay, right.
And us in Junkyard. So I got there. It was Junkyard. It was Hot Cold Sweat, us, then Junkyard. So I was there for Hot Cold Sweat. Then we played and I froze.
Did you
I
play?
was like, I played, I got through. I was like, come on, Allison, you don't do this. I froze completely. I was like, but I got through it. I was like, okay, I just think they put me out there too fast because it was a new situation.
Yeah.
But then I was with them for almost 7 years. So
After that, yeah.
After that, and I love all those girls to death today.
Now, let's talk about your transition from Pleasure to Trouble Funk. How did that happen?
Trouble Funk
you went from an all-girl band
to an all-guy
being the
band.
only girl in a band.
And I love it. Look, I'm an only child.
I get it.
I got 11 brothers. They look out for me all the time. And let me go back. There's no drama. There's no cattiness.
What's that? Okay,
it's so peaceful. Mm-hmm. But guys tricky though. They got more drama than us sometimes. They just know how to maneuver. But Trouble Funk, we are family. And I don't know if the unit's chemistry is so crazy. It's unbelievable. And how I got in that, well, one of the keyboard players in the band, one of the other keyboard players had quit, and the other keyboard player needed someone to help.
Okay.
So he knew I played. He called me up. Then he turns around and quits. So now I'm by myself. Then Big Tony hires somebody else.
Okay.
Then he quits. Then I was by myself for a while. And then he was able to bring back the original keyboard player for Trouble Funk, James. And we've been together ever since.
So let's talk about some places that you all went as a band to perform that was let's talk about 2 places that you went that really kind of just stuck with you, an experience that you'll never forget.
We went to London in 2016. Mm-hmm. I would say 2016. It might have been 2013. No, it might have been earlier than that. We went to London, had 2 sold out shows in London. And it was amazing that the crowd in London, how they responded to us. Yeah. They came in holding their albums, their 12 inches. Mm. They had old T-shirts, old flyers, posters. They wanted autographs. It was amazing. And they partied standing room only for almost 2.5 to 3 hours. And that was 2 shows. I would say performing here at RFK Stadium to a sold out crowd. I can't hear you.
Oh, I said
RFK Stadium. It was the 4th of July show.
RFK was the joint. I loved RFK.
Yes, RFK Stadium. I can't recall the year. It wasn't that long ago, though. I'm bad on years. And it was sold out. And we were the second to the last act. I was there all day. And we opened up for Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. But to be on that stage, they had the rotating stage where they would have one band set up on one side of the stage so that they could keep the show moving. And as we're twirling around to get to the front, then we would start. And then when we turned, then it was when they shifted the stage, then Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters were there. That crowd was awesome. The RFK was packed from top. By the time, like when you're there all day, you just see people and people scattered all over the place. But by the time we played, that whole place was locked damn. And it was nighttime. It was beautiful. And I was like, wow. I don't know how many people RFK Stadium holds. I think it's about 18, 19,000. Yeah, it was 18, 19,000. It was amazing.
So my last question to you, Allison, is
Yes.
what would you say to a young woman that wants to play keyboard and might be kind of, reluctant or hesitant to get out there? How would you encourage her to just work her craft?
I would tell her to keep at it. First of all, I don't think dealing with keyboard players, yes, it is a male dominated genre of music, and I get it. But, and I've learned from a lot of people in Gogo, like Godfather, rest in peace, Byron. Yeah, that Byron thing hurt. Cause I don't know. And like Drummer Chick said, I do a lot of going. If I'm at a go-go, I'm near the keyboard player because I'm always learning. I always love to learn what they're doing and how can I incorporate. It's like I'm not gonna try to steal all your chords, but I'm gonna get something from you. Ivan, that hurt. Rest in peace, Ivan. He was a beast, but and as I mentioned, all males right there. That's just what I grew up with, but today, Sharice a beast, Cool Keys is a beast, Deanna Hawkins is a beast. There's a lot of females out here that are doing it. And I would tell her, and I will point out to her, there's a lot of females out here, and show her, hey, we are out here too. We can do it just as good as they do, not maybe even better, because we understand how to grow with this.
And you're absolutely right. And that's what the women, this is really the whole heartbeat of this whole Women Behind Music. First of all, to let everyone know that there are some awesome, wonderful musicians behind the music that needs to be recognized. And not only that, to let the women, the inspiring musician, the inspiring vocalist, to let them know that they can definitely do it too. They can definitely do it too. Now, Drummer Chick played back in the day. She played with Precise at Wilmer's Park. Let's look at that. I'm waiting on Sean to come through. But he's on it too.
And I was always cheesing every time they
always. Oh my God! Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. There you go. So that was a time with Sean playing the drums doing precise. Now Allison talked about her first actual um experience with pleasure was with the was actually recording the Christmas song. Now everybody thought that Christmas song was me, but it was not. It was Tam actually, rapping on that Christmas song. And rest in peace, Tam. But I want to talk to Allison just really quickly. This is Allison in the groove with Trouble Funk. Let's watch.
Fellow go-goers, this is where it all.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. Let's go there. This one.
Say what? Oh yeah! Woo-wee. Before we even get this party started, y'all. Shout out to all the party people in the house tonight, y'all. Where my party people at, y'all? All right now. All my party people, I want y'all to do this comedy right here. Now check it out. I said, everybody turn the boogie down, let me hear you say, yeah. If everybody turn the boogie down, let me hear you say, hell yeah. If everybody turn the boogie down, let me hear you say, yeah. If everybody turn the boogie down, let me hear you say, hell yeah.
Okay, so that is Trouble Funk with Allison as the only female.
Wow.
This all, yeah. Isn't that this? She was killing it. Yeah.
I believe that was we are the first band. We opened the anthem up.
Mm-hmm.
The anthem in Southwest.
Yes.
Their first act was us and Foo Fighters.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just wanted to show everybody the women in the mix. The women in the mix.
Oh,
Now,
we're in the mix.
oh, y'all in the
Oh,
mix.
we in the mix.
Now I want to talk to this young lady Congo player by the name of Chaos. Keisha Chaos Scott. Now, Keisha, can you hear me? Let's talk about Girl on the Congos. How did this start with you? How did your journey start with percussion? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's see.
Chaos, can you hear?
She must be.
Oh man.
Okay, we're gonna move.
She's not on mute, is she?
Let me see.
You're not muted?
You can't hear me? What you said? I thought I heard her. Can you hear me now? Keisha, can you hear? Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna come back to Keisha. Okay, and we're gonna talk to Miss Camise, Songbird, Miss Camise, Songbird, Miss Camise. Oh wait a minute, I think we actually lost Keisha. Let me see. Yeah, she'll be back on. No, yeah, she'll be back on in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna go to Miss Camise. How you doing, sweetie?
I am blessed.
You are.
Glad to be here.
I am so glad that you're here. Now let's talk about your journey because your journey is very unique. And let's talk about how you started singing. When did that start in your younger years?
Well, in my younger years, I started singing in church at
Mhm.
age 6 in the youth choir. I attended my grandfather's church, and you know, we had the regular choir, but we had a youth choir, and my aunt, she gave me a solo one time. Man, I took that solo and ran with it. You couldn't tell me nothing. So after that, and the reaction and the praise, that I got after that, I was like, oh, okay, I might be on to something here. And also following in my dad's footsteps, I believe, because he was a singer. He sang for a group by the name of Chemistry back in the day. But for me to take it seriously, my junior high school teacher, I'll never forget, Miss Anita, recommended me to go to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And like Allison said, I started out singing classical music. And I was told if you can sing classical music, you can sing anything. But for me, that wasn't my thing. I was an R&B girl. I was an R&B chick. So, again, like Allison said, classical music wasn't my thing. But I knew, if I had the proper training, and I knew that if I could conquer singing classical music, I could sing anything. So, I did take it seriously, even though, classical music wasn't my first love. And I had a family friend by the name of Glenn Ellis. Glenn played bass for Chuck Brown.
Okay.
And God rest his soul, Glenn was like, if I can't even say one of the best, I think he was the best bass player to me that there was in this city. Um, but he allowed me to come in and sing with bits and pieces at the Ibex. I'll never forget it. I came up and I sang. He said, "Learn Love Changes" by Mother's Finest. I said, okay. And learned the song, man, came up there. And I mean, the crowd was so welcoming. They enjoyed it. They loved it. So from there on, I started sitting there with bits and pieces at the Ibex. And later on, came to sit in with Chuck Brown on, some shows as well. But my steady, I would say, introduction to go-go, Ronald Moulton came up to the Madness one day. This is where I was working at the Madness shop on Georgia Avenue. And he said, I'm putting a band together. And the name of the band is going to be called A Touch of Essence. And I'm going to have Mike Muse. I'm going to have you, if you interested. And, some of the older members of Rare Essence. So I said, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. And we had a great run, and that was my consistent start in go-go. But if it wasn't for Glenn, I would have never been introduced to this go-go scene. So I'm grateful to him for believing in me and giving me my start.
So, can you tell me about your experience working with the Godfather Soul?
Oh man, it was an experience like no other because Chuck traveled. I never forget, I went with him to New York to a show, and the club, it wasn't very very huge, but um it was kind of like on one of those side streets in New York City. But to just drive down with the guys and a winter bagel, and just to hear his raspy voice, talking, and just them making me feel welcome and making me feel at home. It was a awesome experience, and just to see how the crowd reacted to go-go music, even in New York City. But some of the biggest shows that I've sat in with Chuck with has been right here at home. Whether it was at a hotel. I know back then, Madness would throw parties and promote parties back then as well. And we had Chuck on some of our shows then. So, I had the opportunity to sit in, and it was amazing just to see love, that DC love. The DC crowd would just go crazy soon as he hit that chop, 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 chop. And it was just, and from there, man, it was just a party, and great experience for me. It was nice to just look out and see, everybody just enjoying themselves and having a great time.
I'm sorry. Now, when you after your experience with Chuck and you getting into this, you kind of start to feel and learn the culture. How did you relate that to what you already learned, your learnings at Duke Ellington, and how did you relate that to that? Did you use some of those techniques that you learned in school and brought that stuff over, or did you just separate it?
No, definitely like breathing techniques and
Hmm.
stuff like that carried over with me performing live, because it really took some experience and some getting used to. Performing live is a whole nother different animal.
Hmm.
And in the beginning, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I had a little pitch and tone problem, but you had to get used to that live feel
Hmm.
and being able to perform with live musicians. So it did take some getting used to, but I was able to, incorporate. I had to remember, because, sometimes being out of school for a while and you don't use your gift, you don't use your craft or what you've learned, you kind
Hmm.
of lose it.
Yeah.
So, I had to remember, okay, Camise, go back to those breathing techniques, go back to vocal exercising and warming up your voice, because at first I would just sing,
Yeah.
with not warming up my voice, not doing vocal exercises, and it definitely helps to warm your voice up first.
And I brought that question out mainly because to let someone know that even though, and just look like is exactly as well as Allison and Drummer Trick, even if you start out in one genre, those gifts and talents spill over to another one. So don't never put yourself in a box. So that's
Right.
what I wanted to bring that out with you in reference to that. So let's talk about, okay, so you had that, you started to learn the culture, you went from one genre to another, and then you started your own band, or what was your next steps after that?
So after A Touch of Essence, we changed management, changed the name, and it became First Touch.
Okay.
So I think I may have done the First Touch thing for about a year, and then I got a call from Greg McNeil's
Hmm.
sound guy, and he said, "Man, what's going on? What you doing these days?" And I was kind of up to here with the whole A Touch of Essence First Touch
Hmm.
ride,
Hmm.
and he said, "Well, Settle Thoughts is looking for a new female singer."
Okay.
So I said, "Oh, okay." So I jumped on that opportunity, and was one of the greatest, rides and go-go that I've had thus far, and greatest experience thus far as well with Subtle Thoughts.
So how was your,
Um,
so I know, were you the only singer? Because I know they had other singers as well. So were you the only singer at the time, or were you was another singer with you at the time?
no, I was the only singer at the
Okay.
time, and I think later on, like maybe a year or so after, Michelle Blackwell did come back, and
Okay.
at one point it was the both of us.
Okay.
But sorry, I got to move a little bit.
Okay.
But then after that, it was me again.
Okay. Got
So
it.
I was
Got
by
it.
myself yet again. And after that, after Settled Thoughts, I went on to be a part of the Vibe Band
Okay.
um, with Dirk Holmes, and definitely had a nice time and great run with Dirk as well. And wait a minute, in between sorry, there was publicity.
Okay.
I did play with publicity band as well. Um, and I think that was maybe for about a couple of years. That's back when Cranberries was on Silver Hill Road.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
So, and yep, after Vibe, um, in between there, I've sat in with numerous, go-go bands in the city,
Hmm.
like Sugar Bear, EU, Belladonna, Air Raid, Red Sessions, Walker Red's Project, you name it. So I'm grateful that people allow me the opportunity just to come on their stage, and trust me that much, to be a part of their show.
Now, what
And
was your inspiration to start your own band? What What was the
well,
inspiration
for
behind
many years, I had been a part of, a lot of people's visions and, a lot of other people's bands, and never really had anything, to call my own.
it? Hmm.
So, in the midst of, back and forth with Vibe, and, Dirk and we had a great chemistry starting out. And, I think I had left and came back, left and came back,
Hmm.
maybe about three different times. But the last time around, God just placed it in my heart, and gave me that vision to form a all female band. And I like, for me to have my own baby and actually birth my own baby was important.
Hmm.
And, if God placed it in my heart, I knew that, with determination and with consistency, I could do it. So moving forward, that's what I did, and ended up birthing Inspired Soul, which is an all female band.
So, how did you find your members?
I found my members. My cousin Shannon Brown actually
Okay.
helped me form the band and put the band together. She threw out a few names and said, "Hey, won't you call this person? Won't you call that person?" And so I got on the horn and started reaching out to folks and called a rehearsal and we made it happen.
Yeah, Shannon was actually one of our. She played for our church. She was one of our band members for our church, as well as BJ. Um,
Yeah, Shannon is awesome.
yeah, oh, yeah, she is. She is. So let's talk about Inspire. What was the inspiration for the name? Because I really like the name.
Oh, thank you. Well, music to me definitely inspires, and it uplifts, and it can just change, a person's whole entire mood.
Yeah.
So, the name, the first part of it, inspired. I just figured, okay, this is nice, because music uplifts and it inspires your soul. That's what came to my mind, music inspiring the soul.
Mhm.
Because it reaches the soul. And, whether it makes you dance, whether it makes you happy, whether it makes you sad, whether it makes you cry, whatever type of reaction you get from it, I believe that it touches a person, in their soul. So the actual name Inspired, spelled the correct way with the I, was
Mhm.
taken
Yeah.
once I searched it. So I said, okay,
Okay.
well, Kamish, you got to get creative. At first I
That's
was like,
right.
how am I going to do this? But I said, well, I could spell it with an N.
Yeah.
And once I did that and that was available, I said, okay, this is how we gonna do this.
Now I've heard that I know with you and your band Inspire, and I think I just didn't really realize that you were all girl band at the time, and I thought that was amazing. Um, do you have any? How are you managing the band as well?
I am.
Okay, so
As
let's talk about wearing the two hats as a manager and the lead singer.
Oh man, it's a lot. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I'm a person where everything has to be in order, everything has to be right. So I would rather take the initiative to, take the extra time or, do what it takes to make sure that things line up properly, from a management perspective. And, with this being my baby first starting out, I don't know if I would trust anyone, to just say, hey, this is my vision, this is my dream. Let me go ahead and put this in your hands and you take care of this.
Now, wait a minute. Now, I've heard your voice. Now, what if it gets to a place where, honey, you can't do that part and sing and manage? Are you willing to allow any to delegate that piece?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm already at that place because I've been at this for what, 2.5, well, almost 3 years now.
Yeah,
And like I said, it is overwhelming.
it is.
I, question myself, like, girl, what did you get yourself into?
Yeah. But
But
I can say this. When I was managing Precise and playing and managing, it is a very overwhelming task. But there are three things that if you keep, you can you can kind of do it until the time, and you will know when this time to delegate to allow someone else to manage or co-manage.
right.
One thing, and I've already sensed this with you, is operating in integrity.
Mm-hmm.
When you operate in integrity and you're managing, you're dealing with the promoters, they are really it helps when they can trust you and know that you do what you say and you say what you mean,
Right.
and that you operate, and then the other piece of it is um integrity, character, and being a people's person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just talking to you, I recognize that you're all three, and that's amazing. Those are some attributes that you have to have, not just as a manager, ladies, but just as a musician, as a singer, because you have people looking at you and women looking at you and gleaning and looking at your gifts and talents and like, oh man, I want. And a lot of times people look to see what you're doing and think is easy, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes and what
Oh,
you had
yeah.
to what you had to do just
Yes.
to get there. You just
Woo.
see it now. You don't see what
What?
it took me to get to the show. You don't know what it took
Girl.
me to get on the mic. You don't know what it took me to get on the
Girl.
keyboard. And they
You
just see the
preaching.
now.
Girl, you better preach.
Come on,
What?
put that preacher hat on, Michelle.
Please. Oh my
Preach,
God. I need the left side of the stage to know how the right side of the stage operate. I
That's
need everybody to know.
That's right. And to know the business side, it's great to be a musician and a singer and all that, but you have to know the business. And when you think
Yes.
about anybody that's been in music, when they don't know the business, they always get caught up and they always fall short. So I'm loving y'all ladies right now tonight by educating yourselves on the business, and not just the business but the culture. And you all are pushing yourselves out there to just do the doggone thing. I know, like Allison operates also in the business. Am I right? With
Yes.
Trouble Funk. You know what I'm saying? You have to do that just to. It's always good to see things with different perspective, not just on stage, but the behind the scenes, and it also makes you more appreciative to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, Camise, I have one more thing for you that is a kind of a surprise. So today, I was trying to get this video from you that you sent it to me, but I was trying to get this video uploaded and I couldn't. And I've been doing it the whole show. Honestly, like the whole show. So I want people to hear you. I know you looking at me like I know she's not about to ask me.
Ooh. Give it to us, Camise.
Oh,
Yes. Just
Look,
sing,
you can't get any better than that.
just sing something.
Ain't a video that can touch this right here.
Listen, I love your voice. I think you're amazing. Sing some. Just I don't care what you're saying. Just sing it for like good 8 to 16 bars, and keep it moving or whatever you feeling. But we want to hear. We want to hear that because I want people to hear. That's why I had the videos for Allison. I had the videos for Sean, and we're going to talk to Keisha soon. But I want people to hear this gift that you have.
oh, wow. Okay, let me think of something real quick. Ooh, Um, oh gosh. Okay. Um, I'll do Chrisette Michelle.
Oh yeah, go ahead, girl. Sing.
Okay, here we go. Say it with your actions. Saying those words told me it doesn't mean anything. Hey, hey. Well, I don't want to hear 'em. Oh, baby, you can keep those three. You
Oh,
might as well not even speak. See, many different times before, he was almost out the door. And then he'd say it, and I'd forgive everything. But I'm sorry to report that ain't working anymore. Now I need to see if that's really what he means. No more, I'm sorry. I love you if it's true, baby boy, it's all in what you do. Yes, I love you, and if it's true, baby boy, it's all in what you do.
woo, girl.
Yes.
Girl,
Yes.
you sang that thing.
Go
Oh
ahead,
God.
Camise.
Oh,
That's that soul
Yes,
girl right there.
Yes,
yes. That was beautiful, girl.
that
Yes.
voice, that
too.
voice.
Oh,
Songbird, that songbird Camise.
yes, you sang that thing very good. You
Oh, thank
sang that
you
thing.
all
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. I know I put you on the spot, but I just had to hear you. You had to do that because people had to hear that voice that you have. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So what would you say? What would you say to encourage a young lady or anyone that wants that's a vocalist that really know they have a gift and talent and they want to get out there, but they just kind of hesitant? What would you say to that person?
I would say to them, don't let fear be a factor in stopping you from your dreams and your aspirations, because I think a lot of times fear stop a lot of folks, even myself, just whether it's being afraid to jump out there, or faith, just not knowing, or, being a procrastinator.
Yeah,
If God places something in your heart and in your spirit, run with it,
that's
go for it, because guess what? If He brought it to you,
yeah,
He's not going to let you fail, He's not going to let you fall. He will make sure that you have the tools that you need. He will send the people that can be of help to you to make sure you get to where you need to be. So definitely rule out that fear factor,
mm,
because I was one of those people, who didn't operate in what God was placing in me because of fear. Or, don't let nobody else make you feel like you're not good enough,
that's right.
or you're not capable of doing what God has placed in you. If He's giving you a gift, definitely do what you need to do to operate in it.
Good job. That's right. Fear is very paralyzing,
It is.
and it will stop you from operating in your destiny and your purpose. But just like she said, don't allow fear to be a factor. Just know that what He put in you, you got it. You already got what it takes. You're already equipped. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you so much. I'm telling you. Now we have our last guest here. Is Keisha K.R. Scott. Keisha, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good, good. Now Keisha is you're a Congo player. You started off playing drums, I believe, and now you're a Congo player. So tell me how you started your journey on percussion.
I started when I was like 3, 4 years old. My
Mhm.
oldest brother drum set. He played it, and I picked it up. It was collecting dust. So I started out as a drummer. And I think maybe when I got like 9 or 10, I heard Jungle Boogie, Mickey, and I just switched. Um, Drums still my love. That's gonna always be my first love. But when I switched to Congos, it was, that was it. I started out in 86, 87 with Royalty Band, and I stayed with them up until like 91.
No, you started
So
out with
Royalty
me.
Band was the
You
first.
started out with me.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
forget
okay, okay.
Let's rewind.
Okay. Then Sean did it.
I love it.
I was like 11, Sean was like 12. And we had our first mixed band. Still back then, that mixed band stuff wasn't really going on.
Okay.
So we had, let me see, me, Sean, and it was one more of a female in the band. But we started out, we was young. Then from there, I hadn't talked to Sean. So when Sean had got the Clicks, I tried out for Clicks and Delicious. Sean was already in Clicks, but by the time I tried out for Clicks, they had broke up. But of course, this was a little bit after Royalty. Did Royalty, loved it. Vince Richardson was my manager. He was my first manager. He gave me my first drum machine because he actually like encouraged me to produce music instead as well. So when we broke up, I think maybe 89, 90 or something like that. 91, 92. That's when I got in Precise.
Okay. Now, how did you start Precise?
I started Precise. I'm not the original Congo player for Precise, but I started 91 through Sean. I was looking for a Congo player. So Sean gave Bugs my number. And when he called me, and back then I'm spoiled. I had my own phone and all that. So when he called, anybody called, the dudes called, everybody voice familiar, but his voice wasn't familiar. He was like, "Yeah, can I speak Keisha?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, it's Bugs." I said, "Bugs who?" He was like, "Yeah, this Bugs from JYP." I said, "Stop playing on my phone." Because I'm like, I know this ain't Bugs calling my phone. He was like, "Yeah, LaShawn gave me your number. Said, make combos." I was like, "Yeah." I was like 15 years old. I was like, "Yeah, I play." He was like, "All right, we're going to pick you up." He picked me up, and then the rest was history.
So let's talk about Congo players. What are you, name some of your inspirations as other Congo players?
Well, of course, Jungle Boogie
Yeah.
was the first. Right after Jungle Boogie, of course, Mickey, Elmo, Wink, and Petey. Them dudes right there, all those dudes in the beginning for me was everything. And I mean, even Juju, he inspired me. Buggy inspired me. Foots, Sugarfoots inspired me. Heavy One inspired me. A lot of drummers inspired me as well. So, um, Jungle Boogie, Mickey, Elmo, rest in peace to Elmo, little Benny Congo player. Petey and Wink, they was everything to me. I collect so much data from them. I became who I became today. I just put all they styles together and just became who I am. Because you first started out, you're going to imitate the person you love. Imitation is a sincere form of flattery. So you're going to follow those guys. We didn't have females to look up to, so of course we had to look up to those guys. So, and
Now, how did you maneuver? How did you deal with playing congos in the that's an instrument that most guys play. So did you find yourself in any chauvinistic situations or finding yourselves looking at you differently because they thought maybe you didn't have it because you are a woman?
yeah, I say a little both. By me starting at a younger age, um, dudes be like, "You too small." It's always been small built. Look at your hands, you too small. But once I got it, and of course got the hang of it, then of course, I mean, the guys was with it, and they was more so shocked what they was hearing. And like I got so much attention from that ever since I can remember. So once you come out and you sounding good and you kind of easy on the eyes a little bit, the dudes gonna pay attention. Because first they're gonna look and see how you look. And then they're gonna get to the point they're gonna see the talent. So they couldn't deny us after a while. They couldn't just say, oh, they look all right. But they could say that as well as saying, oh, she play good, she sound good, or they sound good. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, you get that as females when you dealing with something, male oriented when it's dominant that way. So, but overall, they were shocked and surprised.
Yeah. Now I have a video. They was doing an anniversary for Congo players, and I want you to before we discuss that, I want you to first tell me: are there any places that you played that really kind of stuck with you? Any experience?
When we played at the Capitol Center, definitely stuck. Because that's when we played, I believe, in front of 17,000 people. That was the first time we played in an arena. I mean, I think as a musician, that should be everybody's goal to get in that arena, because that's the biggest platform for a lot of us. So playing at the Capitol Center, because it's a landmark now, that definitely was a blessing. And I remember.
And which show was that? Oh, that was
School.
Go Live too. Okay.
That was the Go Live. It was the Out of School Boogie, and that was one of the best shows I've experienced in my life. Met Tupac, Omar Epps backstage. Be Real from Cypress Hill. Met him. He told me I could play the congas. He was like, "You can play the mess out them congas." They Latinos, and they represent that percussion well.
That's
how
right.
they go. So it definitely was a great experience doing that show, performing at Capitol Center. Black Hole, places, triples. We used to practice in triples. Besides used to practice in triples, so I felt like triples was like our home.
Like home, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as you after you left Precise, what happened?
When I left Precise, I was in a car accident. I was in several car accidents.
Oh, okay.
But the first time I was in my car accident, I was fine. I believe like the third one, it set me back. So I was in a wheelchair for a while. And besides, we kind of was trying to get back together even after you left in 2000 with Tam, formerly Talker for Pleasure. Rest in peace, Tam. That's my girl.
Yeah,
we was getting back. Yeah, we was getting back, but we couldn't get everything together. Then when she passed, it was just that was it. So once I got in my car accident, I thought I was gonna never play because I didn't have the passion. You know what I mean? So being in the wheelchair, that's all you thinking about is getting back on your feet. So after that, going through sensory therapy, still going through it. 2004, I was still fine. And then let me see, 2004, that's when Lori called me for SOS Band.
And so you're playing with SOS Band now.
Right, currently playing with SOS Band and Inspire Soul. So 2004, we started. I think, Sean, what year you come with SOS?
I can't remember when y'all called me.
Okay.
Stupid. 2000 something. I feel like a clam.
Lloyd's about 2006. Yeah, maybe about 2006.
Yeah, Lloyd's 2003. Okay. So
Okay, yeah. And
go ahead. I'm sorry. So you're
now go ahead.
you're now with SOS band. So let's talk about some bands that you were able to sit in with. And tell me about those experiences that you were able to just like they didn't have a Congo player, you in the crowd. Hey, I need you to come. How did that work out for you? And let's talk about the
Let me
bands
see.
that happened for.
Okay, Junkyard. Um, Petey was playing the Congos at the time, and that whole weekend he had prom. We all knew, everybody in the city knew. We knew Petey was graduating, this, that, and the other. So only people that knew that I was gonna fill in. Maybe he didn't want to scare me because I was about 17 years old. Only people that knew was you, Bugs, and Mo Shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Bugs, you told me, Bugs said, "Nah, I'm gonna get Keisha to do it. I'm gonna get my sister to do it."
Mm-hmm.
I did not know nothing until literally the day of the show. And he told me to get on stage. So I did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with him. Nothing. Me and Blue Eye Crank. And see, that was my band. So, when you young, back Junkyard was the band for us when you younger. They gave us that, I'm going to say, that inspiration to think when you're young, you can still do it. Because at the time, you still had the older bands. Everybody were younger, but you still had the older bands like Lil Benny, Chuck, Red Essence, EU. So Jump, of course, was the first band that was for kids. You know what I mean? But Bugs knew I had it. You know what I mean? Then I filled in for Essence a couple of times. And Mickey played the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey had to get back there and play the drums while I played the combo. So I did that a couple of times with Essence. Um, Backyard a couple of times. I could never finish a show with Backyard. The first time I filled in, they fought and we had to end it.
Oh no.
Man, that crushed me. That crushed me. You know what I mean? But I could never finish a show with Backyard. I never finished a show with Essence twice. But Junkyard, yeah. Full show. Two
And I
sets.
asked you that
Oh,
question
the
because
whole weekend.
see, I asked you that question because it shows how when you are a musician and you love your craft, how you have to study the culture and study the other bands and what they're doing as well. You would never have
Yeah,
been prepared to sit in for a junkyard or to sit in for a backyard if you did not listen to what they were doing and study your craft.
exactly.
So I say that to any musician out there that's listening. If God gave you a gift, study your craft, perfect your gift. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just a gift to lay dormant, it's a gift for you to expound on to and bless other people. Now, Keish Chaos, if you knew any um, Congo players, what would you, or percussionists, what would you say to them to inspire them to just go for it?
Just like you said, you gotta just be focused and pay attention on your craft. When I filled in for Jump, I was listening to Junkyard every day, almost all
Mm-hmm.
my life. When I filled in for Back that year, I was listening to them almost every day for a year. Same thing with Essence, listening to them almost every day. So repetition is the key. Keep going, even when you make mistakes and you learning how to do roles and this, that, and the other. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop. Because as soon as you stop, that's when the problem kick in. You gotta keep going and don't get discouraged,
That's
especially
right.
if you're female. Don't get
Mm,
discouraged at all, because you got it. You can do it. It's nothing to it. It's in you. Once you tap
that's right.
in, it's over. And you tap in and tune in, there's nothing gonna stop you. You can keep it moving. That's that.
Now, my last question for you is: I've learned that you also have experience in writing and producing, and you had did a collaboration with Raw Digger as well as a performance. Can you
Mhm.
talk to me about that?
Oh, that definitely was a beautiful experience. Raw Digger, humble. I think that was needed in the game, not just for us, not just for SOS, but definitely just for the culture. So we just did a remix with something she did several years ago, and she was doing a reunion with her album when she was signed to Busta Rhymes. So we reached out to us. She always wanted to get involved with Go-Go because Go-Go is familiar to her. And the rest was history on that as well. So she definitely was one of the, um, I, I looked up to Broad Dick back then, just like Lauryn Hill back in the day. So um, it definitely was a great experience. And I'm glad she reached out, was humble, wasn't acting like she was whatever, you know. So and I think even now today, if SOS wanted to continue to do something, you know, in the further future and further in the future with her, she'll be with it. She'll be down. So,
So
but
listen.
producing and writing music, you know, I've been doing that since, you know, Precise days. So
So I want everybody to see Keisha Chaos in motion. So y'all look.
And what you're about to see is, well,
All right, y'all. 2 minutes each, man. We on time. And go. Intro. Remember Metro World? Remember that young lady? That's her right there. Hey, Chaos, you about ready, baby? Huh? Y'all give it up for Chaos, man, one of our female members, man. All right, y'all. Y'all give it up for my band, too, man. Give it up for my band, man. The CPU band. You about ready, baby? Hey, little Mickey. You ready? I'm sorry, Mickey, you ready? I know. Don't call him little Mickey no more, mother. That's grown-ass man right there. Grown-ass man. Shit. My fault, nephew. Hey, y'all having a good time so far? Clap it up for yourselves, man. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for the love. Hey, look. Y'all ready? I ain't gonna ask y'all what y'all gonna... Y'all sound good tonight, man. Too bad, motherfuckers. Let me that watch that, boy. Let's go. It's on y'all. Oh, shit. Okay, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Get him, girl. Hey, big girl. Big girl.
Okay, y'all. That was Chaos just doing her thing. She know how to cross and all that stuff. She just doing her thing. Listen, she is a talented. Y'all know I don't play them cards, but she's a talented lady. Listen, I finally got the video that I was trying to show with Camise, and then we're gonna go ahead and end it. Now, Sean got kicked out. Sean, I just need you to come in the same way you came in the first time. I hope let me check it. Same way. Just come in the same way, Sean. It's still, open for you to come in the same way you came in the first time. Listen, I'm excited. You all have really blessed me today. We're gonna look at this clip with Camise, and Inspire Soul Band. I'm not sure where you all are at this time because this is not one of the videos you gave me. So I hope this is okay. And I want you all to see them in action.
Guess what? It's gone by. Hey, we go. Words don't come easily. Yeah, that's how. Hey, I love you. Hey, it's all that you can say. I love this little boy. It's gone by. Hey, the words don't come easily. That's how. Hey, well, you can say that. Maybe if I hold you tonight. Hey, well, maybe if I told you the right words, move at the right time. Guess what? You can do right. Hey, Stacy, you can do right. Hey, one more time. Now, every time I feel my soul, I'm looking at me and say, what's up? Hey, yeah, yeah. What's up, what's up, what's up? Ain't she pretty? Hey, I have got my bed with my swag on. I look in the mirror, say what's up? Hey, yo, yo. What's up, what's up, what's up? Woo.
Now that was Camise and Inspired Band, you guys. They are amazing. Listen, I'm so excited about you guys being on the show tonight. I think that. Let me see. There she go. There she go. Okay, we got you. I'm so excited about you all coming. I love you all so much, and you all keep doing what you're doing. These are the women behind the music. We are talking to the ladies of the show, talking to Alley Cat Johnson. We're talking to me, Songbird, Sean, Yvette, Fat, Stormy, also known as Fat and Drummer Chick, and Chaos Scott. All of these got something heavy to bring to the table. And I'm so excited about what y'all are doing. Keep doing what you're doing, y'all, because you're making a difference in this city and you're making a difference with other women across the world. Listen, I love you all so much. Hey, everybody, tune in next week. Same time, same place. We'll be talking to Belladonna, band and show. We're going to have a good time with those ladies. Listen, if you want me to reach out to any of these ladies, all of them on Facebook and on Instagram, follow their page, see what they're doing and making some moves. I'm excited. And listen, I love y'all so much. I know I love y'all.
I love you more.
I love y'all.
Thank you
I love
so
all
much,
y'all.
Michelle. Thank you for the platform.
Keep doing what you're doing because what you're doing makes a difference. All right. Listen, y'all make sure you all meet us next week, same time, same place.